Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, well, we're cutting through the noise around AI. There's just so much happening.
There really is. It's moving incredibly fast.
Exactly. Investment in AI startups, for instance, is up an astonishing 45% in the last year. I mean, that rate of change is just unprecedented.
It really is. And that 45%, it isn't just a number.
Right.
It shows VCs are betting big. They see foundational shifts happening, AI moving from niche tools to being totally integral.
So for our listeners, for you, what does that mean practically?
It means the tools becoming available are way more powerful, more integrated, and frankly, more essential if you want to stay competitive. It tells us AI isn't just tweaking things anymore. It's actually enabling brand new business models, things that weren't even possible like a year ago.
It's incredible, isn't it? Seeing AI jump from sci-fi concepts to, well, our everyday reality, phones, business systems, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So let's unpack this. What do you see as the fundamental shifts, the real drivers pushing AI out of the lab?
I'd say it's basically a perfect storm. You've got three critical things coming together.
Okay.
Vast amounts of data, first off. Then much, much better algorithms.
Right.
And finally, dedicated computing systems. Hardware built specifically for AI.
Right, that combination.
Exactly. That union paved the way for machines that can, see, hear, talk, even think in ways that were science fiction just a few years back.
Wow.
And a huge part of that is generative AI. It's moved from, research papers into the real world, creating amazingly human-like content, images, video, code, music, you name it.
And building on that, these multimodal AI systems seem like a really big deal.
Oh, absolutely. That's a significant shift.
They're not just single task tools anymore, right? They handle text, images, audio, video, all at once.
Precisely. It's moving AI away from those narrow applications towards something more versatile, maybe closer to human cognitive flexibility. It allows for much richer understanding, richer interaction with information.
Okay, that makes sense.
And powering a lot of this, of course, are the large language models, the LLMs.
Ah, yes, the LLMs. They seem to be everywhere.
They are. And they're genuinely revolutionizing whole sectors. You see financial firms analyzing market reports in seconds instead of hours.
Seconds. Wow.
Yeah. And in healthcare, they're summarizing patient records, even helping suggest treatments, like for early Parkinson's detection. And legal firms reviewing contracts way faster than any human team could.
So speaking of these advanced capabilities, especially the multimodal ones, what makes something like GPT-4 so, remarkable? It goes beyond just text, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
OpenAI's GPT-4 is a prime example of that multimodal leap. It can look at an image and understand it.
Understand it how?
Well, it can solve visual puzzles, describe really complex diagrams, even generate website code just from a quick hand-drawn sketch.
Code from a sketch. That's wild.
It is. And it's not just what it does, but how well. GPT-4 scored in the 90th percentile on the bar exam. Yep. And got top scores, 5s, on several AP exams. That shows a huge jump in reasoning ability. Plus, OpenAI says it makes stuff up about 40% less than older models.
Okay, that's crucial. More reliable.
Much more reliable, especially for important applications.
Right. And generating code from a sketch, that must be a massive help for designers, developers.
Oh, definitely. A game changer.
Meanwhile, there's Anthropic's Claude 2. It seems to be making waves, too, particularly around logical reasoning and ethical alignment.
Yes, Claude 2 has carved out a real niche there. Its big technical breakthrough is handling a massive context window, 100,000 tokens.
100,000 tokens. How much is that in, normal terms?
That's about 75,000 words. Enough to process an entire book or really long reports, all in one go. Researchers are using it to analyze whole stacks of papers at once.
Incredible. And the ethical part?
They call it constitutional AI. Think of it like built-in guardrails. It's trained from the start to follow principles. Be helpful, harmless, and honest. That focus on safety and reliability is key for businesses adopting it.
Okay, so the software side is exploding, but all this needs serious power, right? What's happening with hardware? Must be a crazy race going on there.
Oh, absolutely. A never-before-seen race. Hardware is actually a bottleneck right now.
Really? Holding things back.
Yeah. Researchers can wait months just to get the computing time to train big models. So there's massive investment pouring into GPUs, obviously, but also totally new chip designs, architectures specifically for AI.
And NVIDIA seems to be king of the hill there with the H100 GPU.
Dominant, yes. The H100 offers something like a 9x performance boost for AI training compared to their last generation.
9 times.
Innovations like their transformer engine, which is specifically designed to accelerate the training of these huge language models.
And the market reaction. Must be intense.
Intense is an understatement. Demand is through the roof, way outstripping supply. You see long waiting lists at cloud providers. NVIDIA's market cap shot past $1 trillion, largely because of chips like the H100.
$1 trillion. Wow.
And the big players are buying them up like crazy. Microsoft reportedly ordered over 150,000 H100s just for their Azure AI cloud.
150,000. Good grief.
And it's not just speed. They also have better security features, better energy efficiency, which businesses really care about.
But NVIDIA is not alone, right? You've got AMD, Intel pushing back.
Definitely. AMD with their MI300 series, Intel with Gaudi 2 and Ponte Vecchio. They're coming in with different angles, like combining CPU and GPU capabilities or focusing on performance per watt. It's getting competitive.
And what about startups? Any disrupting things?
Absolutely. You have companies like Cerebras doing really radical stuff. Their wafer scale engine. It's a single chip the size of a whole silicon wafer.
A whole wafer?
Yeah, packed with hundreds of thousands of AI-specific cores. Ventures like that have pulled in over $5 billion in funding combined. The race for the best AI chip is far from over.
Looking even further out, quantum computing and AI. That sounds futuristic, but potentially powerful.
It's fascinating, though still mostly theoretical for now. Quantum computers could be incredible for certain AI tasks. Really complex optimization problems, simulating quantum systems for drug discovery, things like that.
So specialized tasks.
Exactly. Quantum machine learning algorithms might offer, exponentially faster solutions for specific problems. Big names like IBM, Google, D-Wave are investing heavily. We might see practical, maybe hybrid quantum classical AI systems within the next 10 years. Companies like JP Chase are already experimenting.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. Back to the software. Open source models. How are they changing the game? Are they making this power more accessible?
Hugely accessible. Models like Meta's Llama 2, also Falcon, Mistral, they're really challenging the big tech dominance.
How so?
Well, Meta releasing Llama 2, a 70 billion parameter model that performs incredibly well, sometimes rivaling GPT-4. That was a big moment. It's open source, mostly.
Meaning anyone can use it?
Pretty much. Developers, smaller companies, researchers. They can take these powerful base models and fine-tune them, build on them, without massive licensing fees. It sparks so much community-driven innovation.
Right, democratizing it. That's huge.
It really is.
And we're seeing the impact everywhere. I saw a stat that 63% of organizations now report actual revenue increases directly because of AI they've implemented. That's a big jump.
It's a massive jump, and it reflects AI moving from experiments to, core business functions.
Like in healthcare, we touched on that, but the impact seems profound.
Absolutely profound. Diagnostics, for one. Deep learning models are getting better than human experts at spotting things like diabetic retinopathy or lung cancer in medical scans, earlier detection, better outcomes.
That's life-saving stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
And drug discovery.
Yeah.
It's being revolutionized. AI platforms like Chemistry 42 from In Silico Medicine, they took a potential drug from just an idea to human trials in 2.5 years.
2.5 years, what's normal?
The industry standard is more like 4 to 6 years. So AI is drastically speeding up the pipeline for new medicines.
That's incredible acceleration. So AI is helping discover and analyze. What about creating things? Content creation?
Oh, huge waves there too. Tools like Midjourney, DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion. They're basically democratizing visual art.
How do you mean?
Well, someone like me who can barely draw a stick figure can now type a description and get professional-looking illustrations in minutes. My neighbor just made this amazing piece for his wall using Midjourney. Said it felt like having a design studio on call.
Without the art school debt.
Exactly. It speeds things up, lets people explore ideas visually like never before. And for writing, tools like Jasper, Copy.ai, they're boosting productivity for content creators by 30–50%.
By writing the whole thing.
More like handling first drafts, summarizing info, generating ideas. It frees up the humans for the strategic thinking, the polishing, the personalization. And now we're seeing multimodal systems emerge. Turn text into video, generate music for a scene, really integrated workflows.
Okay, and we have to talk about self-driving cars. Progress seems steady, if maybe slower than some hoped. What's the latest?
Yeah, steady is a good word. Companies like Waymo and Cruise are expanding their fully autonomous taxi services in more cities. It's the complex stuff their AI has to track hundreds of objects, predict movements, all in real time.
And Tesla, they have a different approach.
Right. Their full self-driving beta uses data from over 1 million customer cars. Continuous learning on a massive scale, powered by their own custom supercomputer, Dojo. They invested $1 billion in that.
$1 billion just for the training computer.
Yep. But beyond passenger cars, autonomous tech is actually making faster progress in more controlled places.
Like where?
Mining sites, shipping ports, big warehouses. Robots like Boston Dynamics Stretch are moving boxes, navigating complex spaces. There's a clear ROI there right now, safety, efficiency.
Okay. So AI is getting incredibly capable, which naturally brings up the ethics conversation. How are we as a society trying to manage this? Develop it responsibly?
That's becoming a central issue, absolutely. There's a real global effort to figure out how to balance innovation with protecting people from harm, things like bias, discrimination, privacy violations.
And governments are stepping in. I know the EU has its AI Act.
Yeah, the EU is really leading the charge with the AI Act. It's a risk-based approach.
Risk-based.
Meaning the rules get stricter depending on how risky the AI application is. High-risk uses, like in critical infrastructure or hiring, face tough requirements. Some things, like social scoring by governments, are banned outright.
That sounds pretty comprehensive. Could it become a global standard like GDPR for privacy?
Many think so. Companies worldwide are already preparing for it. There'll be a dedicated European AI office to enforce it, and the potential fines are huge, up to 6% of global annual revenue. That gets attention.
Definitely. How does the U.S. approach compare?
The U.S. approach, like through the recent executive order, is more targeted. Sector-specific. It directs existing federal agencies, health, finance, transport, to develop guidelines for AI within their areas.
So more decentralized.
Exactly. Potentially more flexible, maybe, but critics worry about gaps or inconsistencies between sectors.
And what about the industry itself? Are tech companies trying to self-regulate?
Yes, increasingly so. You see initiatives like the Frontier Model Forum, where leading AI labs collaborate on safety research, and individual companies are setting up their own responsible AI teams and principles.
Like Microsoft or Anthropic.
Right. Microsoft has its Office of Responsible AI. Anthropic, we mentioned their constitutional AI. They're trying to build ethics in from the ground up, using diverse teams to review potential harms. And there's a lot of work on techniques to find and reduce bias in training data.
Because AI can pick up societal biases.
Easily. If the data reflects prejudice, the AI can replicate or even amplify it. So fairness requires technical fixes and constant dialogue with domain experts and the communities potentially affected. It's an ongoing process.
Okay, shifting back to the business world. Generative AI isn't just automating tasks anymore. It's creating totally new ways of operating, right? What are the adoption numbers looking like?
They're really striking. Over 70% of large corporations are already using generative AI in at least one area.
70%. Already.
Yep. And they're reporting significant productivity gains, typically 25–40% for knowledge workers' tasks like summarizing information, drafting emails or reports, analyzing data. And spending is projected to explode, reaching nearly $100 billion by 2026. That's an 80% compound annual growth rate.
80% growth. Can you give some concrete examples of where these efficiency gains are happening?
Sure. In legal, AI tools can scan hundreds of contracts in minutes, flagging risks that would take lawyers days to find.
Oh, okay.
In healthcare, it's streamlining admin work, medical coding, documentation. AI assistants can turn a doctor's spoken notes into perfectly formatted records.
That saves a lot of physician time.
Huge amounts. And financial services. Personalized client emails, faster investment research, ensuring regulatory compliance. JP Morgan, for example, said AI cut the time needed to process commercial loan agreements by 75%.
75%. That's transformative. But how does this AI actually work with existing company systems? It needs access to their data, right?
That's the key for enterprise adoption. The best setups link these generative models to a company's own databases and systems.
Yeah.
This creates context-aware assistants that understand the specific business.
So not just using the public models.
Exactly. Platforms like Microsoft Copilot, Anthropic's Claude, Google Gemini, they all have enterprise versions now with enhanced security, customization, and the ability to connect to internal data sources. And we're seeing AI embedded directly into tools people already use.
Like Salesforce or Adobe.
Precisely. Salesforce has Einstein GPT. Adobe has Firefly integrated into its creative suite. It makes the AI feel seamless, just part of the normal workflow.
So we've covered where we are now, the impacts, but what's fascinating always is what's next. What are the key AI trends we should be watching?
Well, one big area is continued advancement in multimodal AI. We talked about text, image, audio, video. But the next step is integrating things like touch, maybe other sensory inputs.
Touch. How would that work?
Imagine AI that can not only see a financial chart, but also understand the nuances from accompanying text and maybe even market sentiment data simultaneously. Or correlate medical images with a patient's entire history, including doctor's notes and lab results, in a much deeper way, more like how humans integrate information from different senses.
Okay, that makes sense. More holistic understanding. What else?
The rise of AI agents and autonomous systems. This is a big one.
Agents, as in AI that does things on its own.
Exactly. Moving beyond just responding to prompts. These are systems that can plan, use tools, learn from what they do, and operate with more autonomy.
Can you give an example?
Think of a research assistant AI that doesn't just find papers, but can generate hypotheses, maybe even suggest experimental designs. Or a customer service agent that can diagnose a complex problem and actually fix it by interacting with multiple back-end systems, all without needing a human.
Wow. Proactive AI.
Proactive and increasingly autonomous. Another key trend is edge AI processing.
Edge AI. You mean running AI directly on devices, not in the cloud?
That's right. Putting the AI processing right on your phone or in your car or on factory equipment.
Why do that? What are the benefits?
Several big ones. Privacy, for starters, since the data doesn't have to leave the device. Lower latency, meaning faster responses, which is critical for things like self-driving cars. Better reliability, as it works even without an internet connection, and it saves bandwidth.
Makes sense, especially for remote or real-time stuff.
Exactly. And thanks to better chips and clever software tricks to shrink the models, complex AI is becoming feasible right on the edge.
And perhaps crucially for businesses, the move towards industry-specific solutions.
Yes, this is incredibly important. While general AI models are powerful, many industries have unique needs, jargon, and especially regulations.
Like healthcare's IPA rules.
Precisely. Or specific data formats like electronic health records. A general model won't understand that context, so we're seeing AI being tailored for healthcare, for manufacturing plant controls, for financial compliance, even for agriculture or education. These specialized models often significantly outperform the general ones for specific industry tasks.
That specialization seems key for real-world value. Now, one really positive trend seems to be accessibility, making these tools usable for people who aren't AI experts.
Absolutely. The democratization of AI is a massive trend, and it's accelerating.
How is that happening?
A big part is the rise of AI tools that don't require coding, these no-code or low-code platforms.
Like, obviously, AI, Monkey-learn, Akio.
Exactly. They let regular business users, people in marketing, finance, operations, build predictive models or automate tasks using AI, often with just a drag-and-drop interface. No programming needed.
So this is really relevant for you, the listener. If you run a small business or work in one, you don't need a whole data science team anymore.
Not for many common tasks. Studies suggest these no-code tools can handle maybe 60–70% of typical business use cases, things like customer churn prediction, sales forecasting, sentiment analysis, and they often perform just as well as custom-built models, but you can build them in a fraction of the time and cost.
That's incredibly empowering for smaller players.
It really levels the playing field.
And besides no-code, cloud platforms are making things easier too.
Definitely. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. They offer sophisticated AI capabilities like image recognition or language translation through simple APIs. You basically pay for what you use, making powerful AI accessible without huge upfront investment.
And open source communities, like Hugging Face.
Also critical. They provide access to cutting-edge models like Llama 2, which we mentioned, plus tools and datasets, allowing developers everywhere to learn, experiment, and build. It fuels innovation from the ground up.
Okay, let's tackle some common questions people might have. First off, the difference between general AI and narrow AI, where are we actually at?
Good question. Basically, all the AI we use today, commercially available AI, is narrow AI.
Meaning
Meaning it's designed and trained for specific tasks, playing chess, translating languages, driving a car, recognizing faces. It can be incredibly good at that one thing, sometimes superhuman, but it can't generalize that intelligence to unrelated tasks.
And general AI, artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
That's the more sci-fi concept, an AI with human-like cognitive abilities, able to learn, reason, and apply intelligence across a wide range of different domains, just like a person. That remains purely theoretical. We're likely decades away if it's achievable at all. So everything we've discussed today is narrow AI.
Got it. Okay, next question. What impact are these big language models like GPT-4 actually having on businesses right now?
Right now, they're automating content creation, marketing copy, emails, reports. They're powering much smarter chatbots for customer service. And they're acting as cognitive assistants for knowledge workers, helping them research, synthesize information, brainstorm ideas faster. They boost productivity.
Okay. Which specific sectors are seeing the biggest changes from AI overall?
We've touched on many, but the leaders are definitely healthcare diagnostics, drug discovery, financial services, fraud detection, trading, customer service, manufacturing quality control, predictive maintenance, retail recommendations, demand forecasting, media content generation, personalization, and transportation autonomous systems logistics. Honestly, AI adoption is becoming essential just to stay competitive in most fields now.
Makes sense. So for a small business owner listening, what's the best way to just get started with AI? What's a practical first step?
Keep it simple initially. Find one specific repetitive problem in your business that takes up time. Maybe handling common customer questions or analyzing sales data.
Okay, find a pain point. Then what?
Then look at cloud AI services. Google, Microsoft, Amazon have ready-made tools, often with free tiers or pay-as-you-go pricing. Or check if the business software you already use, your CRM, your accounting software has built-in AI features you can turn on. Many SaaS platforms are adding AI now. Start small, solve one problem, and build from there.
Good advice. Lastly, the ethical implications. What should people be aware of as AI develops?
Key concerns include privacy. How is data being used? Bias and fairness. Is the AI treating everyone equitably? Or does it reflect societal biases? Transparency. Can we understand why the AI made a certain decision? Or is it a black box? Accountability. Who is responsible if an AI causes harm? And of course, the impact on jobs.
So what can be done?
Promote responsible AI practices. That means things like having diverse teams build the AI, actively testing for bias, being transparent about how the AI works and its limitations, and having clear lines of accountability. It's about building trust.
Right. Building trust is crucial.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it, our deep dive into the frankly vast and exhilarating landscape of AI. It really feels like we're in a golden age of innovation here. The speed is just breathtaking.
It truly is. And I think the key takeaway is that AI isn't just a collection of cool tools anymore. It represents a fundamental shift in how we process information, how we solve problems, how we interact with the world. It's reshaping capabilities everywhere.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you to consider. With these powerful AI tools becoming more and more accessible, how will you leverage them? Not just for efficiency, maybe, but to creatively tackle a problem or build something entirely new. Perhaps something that addresses a societal need while keeping those ethical guardrails we discussed firmly in mind. What responsibility do we all have as users and creators to shape an AI future that is genuinely helpful, harmless, and honest?